Hello, today we continue to read the book, The Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. It's video number 76, and in this one, he's showing us what people say. People in the different quadrants, the words they use. Please join me. Hello, welcome to Take a Step to a Better You. We continue to read the Cashflow Quadrant book. If you are returning, appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here. If you are new, welcome. My name is Sherifa, Nakalema, business owner here in Virginia, USA. And on here, I'm here daily. I'll just show you the schedule. Please take a look at the schedule. It's a daily one. Okay, that's what it is. I'm here daily. And if any of that, what you saw there, sounds interesting, please consider subscribing. And the money tips and the business tips come from books. So this is a day for the money tips, business tips. We get the tips from the Cashflow Quadrant book by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, this is video number 76. And in 75, he had started on this topic. But also, if you want to see all the ones that I finished, from number 1, remember we're 76, go please in the description, also pin the comment and end screen. That's where all the links are. You can get the audio free for 1 month, and also you can buy the book, physical book, Amazon.com, all in the description. Now, I have to explain what this cash flow quadrant is, especially if you are new. According to Robert Kiyosaki, our money comes to us from 4 different quadrants or ways. On the left, you can be an employee and you earn money by being an employee, get a paycheck, or you can be an S, E employee, S, self-employed or small business owner. Those 2 are on the left. Then on the right, you could be a large business owner, that's B, or I, that's an investor. So that is the 4 ways. You could be crossing, like someone over here, someone over there, but there's the main quadrant where your main income comes from. So that's what this whole book is about. His goal is to actually move us from the left to the right. According to him, that's better. He's telling us why we need to move. Now, let's see what he's talking about in this 76. I find it very interesting. For those of you who watched 75, it was interesting too. Please find it in the description. When you see the link taking to all of them, you could skip any title. When you see the title, it shows what we read, was the topic in that session, that video. So you can see what's interesting, what is not. You can skip through it, although it's best to watch all of them, but there are many. Okay. Now, number 76. He starts with conversations within you. There's a subheading. You know, I keep reading and stopping and reading. So it's a continuation now, a little bit connected with the previous video. He says, for people contemplating crossing from one quadrant to another, an important part of the process is to be aware and vigilant of your internal dialogue. Always remember that what sounds logical in one quadrant does not necessarily make sense in another. Going from financial security to financial freedom is primarily a process of changing your thinking. It's a process of doing what best to know which thoughts are emotion-based and which are logic-based. If you can keep your emotions in check and go for what you know to be logical, you have a good chance of making the journey. Ignore outside influences. The most important conversation is the one you are having with yourself. When Kim is Robert's wife, when Kim and I were temporarily homeless and financially unstable, our emotions were out of control. Many times, what sounded logical was pure emotions talking. Our emotions were saying the same thing our friends were saying. Play it safe, get a secure job, and enjoy life. But logically, we both agree that freedom made more sense to us than security. In going for financial freedom, we knew we could find a sense of security that a job could never give us. The only thing standing in our way were emotionally driven thoughts that sounded They sounded logical, but in the long term made no sense. The good news is that once we made it across to the other side of the cash flow quadrant, the old thoughts stopped screaming and the new thoughts became our reality. Today, I understand the emotions when a person says, I can't take risks. I have a family to think about. I must have a secure job. Or it takes money to make money. That's why I can't invest. Or I'll do it on my own. I feel their thoughts, for I have had those thoughts myself, but looking across the cash flow quadrant, having achieved financial freedom in the B and I quadrants, I can truly say having financial freedom is much, much peaceful and secure, is a much, much more peaceful and secure way of thinking. Now, this is why I named this video, what is going to happen next. He's giving us the words, what these people use, like depending on the quadrant, okay? He starts with the differences between E and B. That means the differences between an employee and a business owner. Core emotional values cause different points of view. The struggle in communication between business owners and employees is often caused by differences in emotional values. There has always been a struggle between the employees and the B's, or the E's and the B, because one wants more pay and the other wants more work. That's why you often hear, I'm overworked and underpaid. And from the other side, we often hear, what can we do to motivate them to work harder and be more loyal without paying them anymore? Wow. Now, he's moving on to the differences between the B and I. That would be the business owner, large business owner, and the investor. There is also constant tension between business owners and investors in that business, often called the shareholders. One wants more capital, and the other wants greater dividends. A conversation at the shareholders meeting may sound like this. The company managers are saying, we need a private jet so our executives can get to their meetings faster. The investors say, we need fewer executives. So we need fewer executives, then we won't need a private jet. And then the differences between an S and a B. That will be the small business owner and the large business owner, or the self-employed and the large business owner. In business transactions, I often see a bright S. You know, a lawyer is considered an S, a small business owner, a self-employed person, such as an attorney, right? They put $1 million deals, they put a multi-million dollar deal together for a B as a business owner. When the transaction is completed, the attorney becomes silently angry because the B, as the large business owner, makes millions, and the S, that's the self-employed, the lawyer or the attorney, earns an hourly wage. So their words may sound like this. The attorney, the S, may say, we did all the work and he made all the money. And then the business owner, the B, might say, how many hours did those guys bill us for? We could have bought the whole law firm for that, for what they charged. Oh my goodness, interesting. So then the difference between an E, that would be an employee, and an investor, E and I. Okay, another example is a bank manager. So a bank manager is an employee who gives an investor a loan to buy some real estate. The investor makes hundreds of thousands of tax-free dollars, and the banker gets a paycheck that is taxed heavily. The bank manager, the E, may say, I give that guy a loan and he doesn't even say thank you. I don't think he knows how hard we work for him. Then the investor, the I, might say, Bow, those guys are picky. Look at all of this useless paperwork we have to do just to get a lousy loan. Okay, I guess no one is ever happy. Okay, that's a comparison. Now, I'm about to finish, by the way, 2 paragraphs. It said, emotionally, volatile marriage. The most emotionally volatile, I don't know if I'm reading that right, volatile marriage I've ever witnessed was a couple where the wife was a hardcore E. That's the wife is an hardcore employee who believed in a job, financial security, while the husband fancied himself a high-flying I. So we have an E wife married to an investor. And he thought he was the future Warren Buffett. But in reality, he was an S, a commission only, salesman by profession, and a chronic gambler at heart. He was always looking for the investment that would help him get rich quick. He was all ears for any new stock offering, offshore investment scheme that promised ultra high returns, or a real estate deal he could take an option on. This couple is still together, but I really don't know why. Each drives the other nuts. One person thrives on risk, the other hates risk. Different quadrants, different core values. I'm reading the last part. Okay, if you are married or in a primary relationship, circle the quadrant you generate the majority of your income from. Then circle the quadrant your spouse or partner generates income from. The reason I ask you to do this is that the discussion between partners is often difficult if one partner doesn't understand where the other is coming from. I found that interesting, and I'll stop there for today, 76. We'll continue with 77 in the next video. So, what do you think about this? The way they speak, these people, and it's so true. And I think as I was reading this, I found that these people, they don't appreciate each other. Don't you think? They always want more for their side. That's not good. So please leave a comment. What do you think about people who are married? You know, in USA here, we have couples that are strength. You know, we have core Republican and core Democrats. But sometimes you find a couple and they're the opposite. I think one time they used to have, they come on TV and they give opinions. But they would put the wife on the one side and the man on the other side, and one is the Republican, one is the Democrat. They used to be, I don't know if they're still alive. They were very interesting. And now recently, when Trump was president, there was that manager, the lady who helped Trump win. At least that's what they thought, the campaign manager. She was a core Republican, and then I think the husband is also a Republican, but against Trump. Like one is for Trump, another one against Trump. So can you imagine those people in the household? How do they smile? I don't know. So it's the same with the money. Like you can imagine those arguments. I think the way to do that, if you are married to that person, as far as the money, as long as you settle what their responsibilities are, don't care about what happened. If they do take risks, whatever, their money to do whatever, if they are gamblers, they can go gamble, as long as the bills are paid. That's how I would deal with that person. But you have to agree to disagree. Leave a comment for me. Like I always end them and say, take very good care of yourself. Take very good care of your family. Take very good care of your health. I hope you subscribe, right? Check the button. Take a step to a better you. Bye-bye.